We just got down there and there's just a sea of blood and bodies.
Good.
So, last week you headed out in the afternoon after a light lunch at the Blue Water Inn. You decided to go out and find out what's going on with the wine supply at the Wizard of Wine's vineyard. And on the way to the vineyard, you came across what looked like a family fleeing from this vineyard. There was a cart and the family gathered around, and sort of slightly further towards Valaki you came across sort of two children and an 18-year-old heading into Valaki under not terrible enthusiasm. And you met the family Martikov, so you met Davian Martikov, the patriarch of the family, his eldest son Adrian Martikov, and their daughter Stefania, and her husband Dag, who all own, work and run the vineyard at the Wizard of Wines. And this strange woman called Muriel, who appeared at some point in the middle of that conversation.
She's an elf, isn't she?
Pardon?
She's an elf, isn't she?
She looked elven, yes. And essentially they told you that the vineyard has been plagued by vine blight for many, many years, and at this time of year, and that's pretty normal for this time of year, but this year, in addition to the vine blight, they've been driven out of the vineyard by needle blights and druids, and asked for your help and not setting fire to everything. So you headed into the vineyard, did a bit of investigating, destroyed your stealth, defeated a bit of the vine blight for them, which was really helpful. Went into the winery. In the basement of the winery, where you headed first, you found Strahd, who had clearly been looking for something and disappeared off into back to what you assume would be Castle Ravenloft, with a merchant in tow for a teleportation circle. You found what looks like a huge gem setting of stone hidden behind a secret door in the basement, but no gem there.
Yep. Did we get the name of the merchant?
No.
Cool.
Harleen went off while they were all searching behind wine barrels in the cellar and took out everything that was infesting the first floor of the vineyard single-handedly, while you lot crept up the back stairs to the second floor of the winery, where you found several twig blights and some druids turning over the upstairs of this vineyard. You found a druid in here that you took out eventually as a giant octopus. A druid going through lots of paperwork inside that sort of looking something inside the master bedroom, who fled out of the window and you watched him take off.
As Vash's human.
And a druid who you have ascertained to have poisoned the wine. They were dispatched in short order with a syringe to the brain, that was then injected experimentally into Quinny.
No side effect.
For the giddy heights of 1 point of extra intelligence, so feeling really quite sparkly and on the ball.
Quinny is practically a genius. So.
Practically a genius. Etherdwe has taken a couple of bottles of poisoned wine, each of which will give you 5 glasses of poison, of wine, which will be a dose of poison. So it's 10 doses of poisoned wine.
Yes, give the child the poison.
And then you've elected to crash out in the early evening.
There's one other thing we did. We used one of the scrolls of like
Purified.
Did you use it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To
to
Purify
just
one
purify
barrel.
one of the barrels.
Okay.
And then Quinny carved and all the rest. Poison wine, do not drink. Just in case we don't get a chance to run into the owners before we leave.
Okay.
So we don't.
And
So-
this one's okay.
So you've crashed out for the early evening in the vineyard, where the family of this vineyard, the Martikov family who own this vineyard, had been out in the woods waiting for you to come back and let them know it was safe to return to their house. Ethelwys raided the house and found all the cash and other.
Before we go to
belongings.
sleep,
Yes.
can I set an animal messenger to tell them that?
Oh, you can do. Yeah.
Cool. I'll probably. Do we
you
want
got
them
an
rocking
animal
up while we're
messenger?
resting? I've got the spell, so if I can flag.
Do it
them
as we're
out.
leaving.
Flag one down. Flag. Hello, animal messenger.
I'm Johnny.
So you can't. Looking out the window, you actually can't see very much around here at all. You saw
Deeply troubling.
the druid heading off to the south, with the remaining needle blights that had been surrounding the vineyard.
Never mind them.
You
So we're avoiding the vine blights.
So you found in the papers that had been strewn all over this bedroom, you found the notes, or some notes that looked like they'd been taken from Martikov about some wine shipments, and they're in the shared drive if you want to have a look at them. Some information around what he's been doing, going to the shrines. Quinny's figured out that selling the windmill on a holy and sacred site may or may not be a reasonable thing to do.
Quinny's feedback's very much no. That doesn't feel very kosher.
Is it
Can I
not?
just check the poison that I got in the
Yes.
wine? Is that the assassin's blood?
Yes.
Or, oh, that's the assassin's blood.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
In wine.
In wine. Yeah, no, that's all right.
It is assassin's
Which is
blood.
very easy to administer in this.
In wine, yeah.
No, that's okay. I was just.
Okay.
I didn't know where it was.
Okay, so as you're settling down, you hear in the various rooms upstairs, you hear skittering
Upstairs.
along the
Is there a
corridor.
third level?
No, on this floor.
Oh, like in the corridors. Quinny, have we had a long rest?
No,
Cool.
you haven't gone to sleep now.
Alright, Quinny, I'll go take a look.
Okay.
Top left.
So you see out on the corridor, despite the fact you definitely went round and locked all the doors before you went there, you can see Old Man Martikov, you can see Stefania, you can see Davian, and you can see Davian, Adrian, Stefania, and Muriel Grimshaw on the corridor outside.
I'm gonna find someone with better charisma. Where's Valsh?
I'll put them all down here.
I'm gonna like give them a polite wave and then quickly walk over to Valsh and bang on the door fairly quickly,
Okay.
in case there's something.
What is
to
it?
do.
How are they back here so soon?
You'll be glad to know we've managed to secure the house for you. Though not without some severe cost to ourselves, we were just trying to heal up a little bit before coming to let you know.
Davian Martikov particularly just looks really unimpressed, I think, by all of this. He's standing with the elven woman, with Muriel, and just generally unimpressed. Doesn't really say very much.
Like, doesn't believe us? Or
Just quietly.
I might try and lead him over
unimpressed.
to the dead druid and kind of vaguely gesture and say, your suspicions were correct, some so-called druids have come down from nearby.
They appear to have poisoned your wine. We did manage to cleanse one barrel for you.
He goes, I appreciate your efforts. I was afraid that it was the druids. We saw one fleeing south, ran just past us through the woods.
Yes, it managed to get away.
I think we feel your work here. There's been problems with the druids over the past years, but I never thought it would come to this. We should thank you. And he sort of gestures to Adrian, who disappears off into the room. Because I will find you some reward for your trouble. And goes off into the room that Ethel looted earlier.
Do any of them,
even the
do any
reward
of them
effort
look
is already
more
got.
pleasant than Master Damien?
Roll perception.
Perception? I love perception. I get even better
While
perception.
Quinny's doing that,
Yeah.
Your treasures.
21.
You don't think Davian is. You think he's really worried,
Okay.
and it's more than just the wine. You just think he's really worried, and something is weighing heavy on his shoulders, and
I want to grab.
is very wary about bringing anybody
Are
else
we
into
awake,
that.
or is it just you two?
You're all.
I want to grab
There's been a
probably
lot of shouting.
Vash.
I've put you all. Nobody gone to sleep. Nobody's had rest.
I want to grab Vash and like walk away for a minute and say, do we tell them that we know what's happened to the gem?
At least tell
So
them
I
about
think-
Strahd.
perhaps we should keep that to ourselves.
What if we said
And as
Strahd
I'm
was
saying
here
that,
and that's
Vash's
gone?
eyes are going to quickly glow,
Uh-huh.
and I'm activating Eldritch Sight.
For magic,
It's literally detect magic, 30
Nothing.
feet around.
nothing particular.
Just double checking.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Nothing particular.
We did encounter something pretty alarming though. Strahd was here.
The elven woman bends over and whispers urgently into Davian.
Is there any chance I can pick that up?
Roll perception.
You can add 1 to that.
Oh, I'm 1, okay.
This is Quinny's guidance is going.
Like,
Ooh, okay. Perception.
This is very unhelpful.
20? Dirty 20?
you can't hear the words. You think she's trying to convince him of something.
We saw him for only a few seconds as he was leaving. He seemed to have said he was looking for something.
But did not seem to locate it. He seemed frustrated, I think is the word.
He did take someone with him. Was there any of your family left on site?
No, there's been a merchant visiting. He said he would help us try and improve the harvest, find new buyers. He's been staying here. We didn't see him before we left.
They were in the basement.
David Martikov seems to visibly deflate, and he's like, "You say they didn't find it."
That's what he said.
We saw Strahd for 10 to 12 seconds, tops.
If that, he seemed rather disgruntled and left.
He didn't kill us all trying to get it, so I imagine he
He
couldn't
seemed
have been too
actually
unhappy.
rather annoyed and just wanted to be free of the place.
He looks at Mura, and she nods and disappears off down that back staircase that goes all the way down to the cellar.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gone a very short period of time to clearly run down and run back, and comes out, and you see her come out at the top of the staircase and just shake her head, and he just looks absolutely heartbroken.
The lady who we accompanied to the laughing,
She's still
Irina.
there, Irina, I think.
Yep, Irina.
she's not with us, is she?
No.
She's in the laughing still.
She's in the laughing.
Yeah, sorry.
Everything
Can
is
I-
awesome with the room.
I can't remember. Question, Emma. I've unlocked plant growth now, so if I cast it over 8 hours, plants will grow enriched within a year. Would that let the winery continue working, from my understanding?
Roll an intelligence check with your new...
With my
super
shiny new
intelligence.
intelligence.
Yeah.
Does guidance work on yourself?
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing. Good. Very helpful. That is a 10, 12, 15.
You aren't sure. You're having seen the state of it. You're not sure whether what's affecting them is natural or whether this is an element of the land. So you're not sure whether enriching this land would be enough.
Enriching
or
nothing still
whether
makes
there's
nothing.
absolutely.
Okay, cool.
So it might, but you don't know that as confidently as you would.
Good enough. I'm going to offer that then, because it's a very big spell, and these people aren't very nice anyway.
No.
So
Bit diggish, yes.
the Muriel sighs and looks like this at Davian, who is just resigned, like the weight of the world is on his shoulders, and he goes, I suppose it is too late to keep things secret. It is clearly gone. Maybe we should sit and I will tell you what we know. And he leads the way to the sort of dining room area up here. You're going with him? Or are you going, this guy's in that place and we're not going anything to do with him?
I don't think more information can hurt. We're not. Are we on a? From what we heard from the druid? Sorry, remind me. Did it sound like they were like going to get back, call the Wicker Man, and get this done with before tea's ready, or was it kind of more of a? Oh, we've got the next stage and a larger plan.
It sounds like it's an ongoing plan. It sounds like the people that you were interrogating weren't the master plotters in that plan. So time scale wasn't really. It wasn't apparent. It was a difficult.
Are you a prepared caster as a cleric?
Yes.
Yes.
Clerics are.
You should take Speak with Dead, so it means you can choose new spells over a long rest.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Prepared class.
If you take Speak with Dead, we can maybe get some more out of this other druid.
Ah, true.
Did you not set fire to the other druid in the outhouse?
Ah, damn
Or
it.
throw down the well or something?
Yeah, no. I did
Just
say
as
that.
The body was well and truly disposed.
The ashes can't whisper secrets.
No,
Needs
you
an
need
ad.
an intact skull.
Needs a man.
All these rules.
So, David Martikov sits down, sits at the head of the table, rubbing his temples and Stikol, and Stefania pours a glass of wine, and she gets this bottle of the champagne, just the most expensive wine made by the wizard, and from what you understand from Unwin at the Blue Water Inn, and there hasn't been very much of this around at all for quite a long time. She pours glasses of this, very nice. And he sits there and he goes, they have come for the green gem and have taken the green gem.
The green gem?
I don't mean to be pedantic, but is it taken or taken back?
Queenie kicks your shin under the table. All of our cards just flat on the table there.
Davian,
He's asking a question.
Davian,
Yeah, but that's a little specific.
Davian looks and goes, the gem has been in our family for many thousands of years. Have you heard the tale of the Fae? Do you understand?
Slam. Queenie's going to take out that book she has.
No, it's just that not many people go to such trouble to steal something. Normally they'll put this kind of trouble in to take something that was taken from them.
Many years ago,
We met a desperate thief.
before, yeah, I was going to say, really? Really? Yeah. Before
Not seeing Ocean's 11.
before kings and priests
Thieves are well known
and
for being
wars
apathetic and...
came to this land, long before Strahd, This land was ruled by druids, by 3 Fey sisters, the forest, the mountain, and the water, and they were the land in Barovia. And there were, each of the ladies had a sacred gem. The forest Fae had a green gem, the mountain a red, and the water a blue, and they were at their holy sites. You may have come across one if you've been into Balaki. There's a stone circle behind an old windmill.
The Fanes?
Indeed. And he starts to talk to Quinny, who clearly seems to understand some of what's going on.
Take the green gem there.
The fane behind the windmill was the holy site of the forest fae.
Okay.
We would worship there and pay our respects to the ladies who gave the land their bounty, who gave animals, who gave food to the people. When Strahd came to Barovia, he corrupted it, and the ladies gradually were driven from the land. We were entrusted with the safekeeping of the green gem.
I'm rolling inside on the entrusted part.
Unfortunately, stories from your great-grandparents usually you assume are true anyway.
Yeah, nothing.
Can I have a crack at insight anyway, just to see if they are lying to our face?
Well, the druids told us differently. So.
That's going to be a lot. That's a 28.
Because it's absolutely, from his perspective, absolutely 100% true.
Okay. Can I don't know if there's any reason for me to be able to work this out. Does that sound like something the Fae would do? Like give them to a mortal family over the druids?
So, what you understand from what you've read and what's been going on is that there was no safe place in Barovia at the time. So, Muriel steps in. She stands behind Davian and goes, and she sort of squeezes his shoulder, like, I know you don't want to talk about this. We are not pure elves or humans. And she stands and she transforms into a raven.
Aha! No one else can see my computer screen, but it says in the book that I have that they were given to wear ravens.
Ah.
So they're probably telling the truth.
There's also something in which Ethard we may or may not remember about his card reading from
Is she a normal sized raven or
about
a
ravens.
human sized raven?
Human-sized raven at this point. And then she transforms again into a raven-sized raven and goes, I told you to beware. And then transforms back again.
Quinny quickly contemplates throwing a
Vash will
or something. but
display a very broad smile, showing all of his teeth. It's alright, we don't judge those who aren't entirely human.
Couple more words? A couple? Hag? Trap?
She smiles.
Death?
She smiles. You were fine.
Imminent?
We manage the hags, it's okay.
Neurosis. The Martikov. the Fae of Barovia used to grant like lycanthropic gifts to their most devout and trusted followers. The forest Fae controlled the ravens, and her most trusted were wear raven as a gift to the truly devout. The mountain Fae had wolves.
That explains the relationship between the Martikov family and the werewolves?
That's the other one, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's not the Martikov.
That's the
Well,
leather.
that explains the werewolves in the area, though, yes?
There are werewolves in the area. Lycanthropy can be both a blessing and a curse, depending on who bestows it.
I can understand what you mean by that.
And so
Quinny,
she
shall I?
looked.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The reason you kicked me.
Oh, yes, you can.
Well, the druids seem to believe that you stole the gem from them.
She laughs bitterly and she goes, We have, when Strahd took power in Barovia, he desecrated the sites of the Fanes,
Oh, we've seen how desecrated they are.
destroying their power.
Just keep carrying them around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even Vash will raise an eyebrow at that.
It's a thing at a sacred site that's been desecrated.
Actually,
that's a
Vash will
good
turn
thing to have.
Vash will turn. And you believe me to be the morbid one.
They desecrated a Fey site.
But
They could be important.
okay.
No one. All right. Quinn is going to really sheepishly put them back into a bag and back into a pack. She's not getting rid of them, but
And I'm the morbid one.
I'm sure these are important.
Where did you find those?
They were in the shrine, in the frame.
Behind the windmill.
Under that big rock.
On
Which I do believe I could move.
at the site at the windmill.
Yes.
I thought it's
The hags that lived.
No,
No, we know they're fiends, in fact.
Muriel, you did know there were fiends, yeah. Muriel continues to speak. She's like,
Fae are
They-
demons and devils. Fiends are fairies. Very different.
the hags at the windmill. They've set up worship to Kinethlin.
Have you told us that the hags are still alive?
no.
Queen's going to really confidently stand up and say, "Do not fear, the hags are finished."
About that,
Do you know they're alive?
I was invisible. I saw them.
No, that was before. That was after.
before you killed them.
That was
Before
when he
the-
came out of the shrine. None of us know.
Also,
You're the only one who knows they're not.
Well,
I don't
all
know
he
they're not dead.
suspects,
I'm
he's had bad
just
nightmares.
nervous.
Oh,
They
okay,
might
right.
they might still be alive.
He's just heard them in
I've
his
just got
nightmares.
weird
Oh, okay.
nightmares that are creeping me out.
Okay. Well,
So-
Queen's going to.
So
Hence
I,
the
I do not.
exhaustion.
Muriel goes. I don't know how much you know of maybe Fey history and the like. And she
Queen's deeply offended, but doesn't say anything.
Okay. She looks at you as you go. Kinethlin, you know of the significance to us.
None of that Fey, no.
So Kinethlin is an archfey of the most wicked type, was mortally wounded and seeks to rival the Queen of Ravens for her power. She is said to have made a dark pact at the Amber Temple. You may have heard of it, far to the north, to become the mother of nightmares, the greatest of all hags, the devourer of innocence. You may hear her spoken about in Barovia as Mother Night, Kinethlin, and
Yeah, she sounds like someone.
Anybody that wants to rival the Raven Queen should be feared.
she charged her supplicants with the extermination of all Ravenkin, largely to annoy and irritate the Queen of Ravens, but as a Raven creature myself, you can imagine that has put some pressure onto us. The
Really?
worship of Kinethlin at the Forest Fey site is a terrible thing.
Did you never think or seek to bring the gem back to the Fey site? To restore it?
We have sought to. We were entrusted the Were Ravens over many years that some time would come where all the Fanes should be reconsecrated together, and that doing one would simply alert Strahd to the possibility.
If you do them all simultaneously, there's not much you can do.
There is less that he can do. There is
Just kill us.
in the lore that we have learned, the Fae crafted him a giant gem. It glows like amber, full of light.
The heart of sorrow.
That is what it is known as, from the elements of their three powers. And they gave it to him to try and draw him from his darkness. When he saw the power that had, he craved the power for himself. He took the Mountain Fane and imprisoned her in Castle Ravenloft. Her sisters fled, seeking to hide the remaining gems from him.
Just as a thought experiment, if you will. If, say, Strahd was to inadvertently expire, this would solve many problems, yes?
It would. It is said that the power that he derives from the heart of sorrow is from the land. Strahd is the land, and the land is Strahd, as the land was once the Fae. If you return the land to the Fae, you take the land from Strahd.
And thusly greatly diminish his power.
The druids that have the green gem are planning to make something they're calling a Wicker Man.
To take on Strahd.
She laughs bitterly and she because we have, and if she says we, she sort of indicates the Martikov family, and you get the feeling that the were-ravens they are all were-ravens. We have kept watch. There is the sacred site of the Mountain Fane is where they are congregating south of here at Yester Hill. They have built a tall wicker man. The druids are no longer the druids that once walked the lands of Barovia.
They didn't seem very They didn't seem very druidic. I've never known druids to be that aggressive.
I do not know what has happened. They have become increasingly hostile. They have attacked with swarms of trees and needles and blights of various descriptions. There have been tales of many sacrifices, but the druids who used to worship, Yester Hill itself is a druidic sacred site. It is a burial mound. It is a sacred site to the druids. I do not know what they're planning now.
How big are these gems, these fey gems?
She goes, well, this sort of size.
I reckon we should go to Yester Hill.
I'm gonna.
All of this time, Damien is just looking old and is just sitting, like his whole sordid family history sort of is being, all his
But
secrets
it's
out
not
on
really
the
that
table.
sordid.
In another. I'm going to speak to this lady as well, but obviously only
In a
her.
head.
Yeah, because I have another somewhat unrelated question that you may be able to answer. How well do you know Valaki?
She smiles and goes reasonably.
Why is everything well in Valaki? What's it a cover?
She laughs and goes, the current political power in Valaki has an interest in maintaining that Strahd cannot get there, that everything is well, it is taken to extremes. There are mutterings of an uprising, there are mutterings of alternative political powers. The Watcher family have been noted to potentially be vying for power over the Baron. It is unclear whether he is well-meaning or not.
Just Rowena wants a new job.
It does seem rather odd that public happiness is enforced.
It is.
Be happy. Be happy.
It
That's the way. That's the way it is. That's the way it is.
It is a desperate place to be. He has much of his political power is in Valaki being a safe refuge for the Strahd. If it is perceived as not being a prosperous, happy, safe city to the outside, his position of power would be greatly weakened.
And why is it a safe refuge from Strahd? Is there any reason? How do they not have any hope?
Strahd has not been seen in Valaki for maybe 200-300 years. He torments the people of the village of Barovia on a
Like a bit of
relatively regular
Brimstride to,
basis. The Baron holds that the regular festivals and the general wall around the city are very, and you don't need to roll insight for the fact that she doesn't believe an ounce of it. She thinks that this is just.
So she's saying this
massive-
out loud, even though she's getting the telepathic
Yes.
question.
She's speaking out loud.
No, I actually
this
have
is
to
all
read
a
her
massive. This is all a massive con. Because nowhere safe in Strahd is what you're getting. But the Strahd's not been seen in Valaki for 200 years, and the
That begs the question. What's
Vlakovic family fundamentally believe that is due to the regular festivals and that is keeping Strahd away and the people there safe.
that begs the question. What is keeping Strahd out of Valaki?
So it's a deal.
He's only one person, I suppose. It's a pretty big country, isn't it? We can only really be in one place at
Why
once.
do they
We can only
need
be at one place at once, right?
But
Why are
probably.
children
He's
required
capable-
festivals?
he's capable of being literally anywhere.
Are they treated?
Why does he steer clear of Valaki? There has to be a more interesting reason.
Valaki is already tormented. He doesn't need to
No.
torment her further.
I don't think there's anything in Valaki that interests him.
What about
mean,
the
they could be that.
children?
Or
What about the children?
or the family has made some sort of deal with Strahd.
Yeah.
I'd say there's a deal.
I'd say there's a deal.
Some sort of
Unlikely.
tribute.
She goes, I trouble myself a little with the comings and goings of Valaki. I simply watch for a distance. Me mainly, I fly between the Martikov family here at the vineyard, ensuring that they are safe and well, and the Blue Water Inn where Erwin is stationed. And
Is
beneath
Erwin
her.
also a were-raven?
Is she not?
Is that likely to pass down to his children?
Yes.
Okay.
The entire Martikov family have been were-ravens for hundreds, thousands.
That would explain the behaviour of the two children. They're very keen-eyed.
What
Ah!
other
They
They're
are
very
too.
keen-eyed.
They are too.
what other were families are there?
Well, we know there's
Yeah.
werewolves.
Yeah, but what family names?
The Martikovs were the only family, certainly within the last few thousand years that we are aware that are still alive, that were blessed with Ravenkin by the Forest Fane. There's a similar family blessed with lycanthropy from the Mountain Fane, a Wolven family.
But
And what about
any-
the Water
of the
Fane?
But
mountains.
anybody that
We
survives a
don't know.
werewolf attack becomes a werewolf.
Is that how it works?
It can. Where lycanthropy in Barovia was largely the same as anywhere else. You can be born a lycanthrope, you can acquire it, you can inflict
Much-
it, and you can
much
be
like-
blessed by it. It
Much
depends how
much
you
like
use it.
much like vampirism, I'm afraid. It can be
Say it.
multiple
do it.
sources.
Do it. If you want.
She goes.
Do it.
She goes.
Do it.
Many of my many
Do the
of
roar.
our werewolf kin that were blessed by the Mountain Fane have an unnatural control over their abilities, although to all intents and purposes would be the same as any other werewolf to an observer.
Except they can change at will. Yes?
And they have
Usually
control
wolves can do
over
that.
how they use their powers.
They control their behaviour.
Excuse me, lady. I think I'm talking to you now. Excuse me, lady. So can you not control you can control yourself when you are a raven? Oh, wow. I
And
thought-
she turns back into a large human-sized raven and she just picks you up and goes. And deposits you inside the room that you pilfered earlier, where David Martikov is desperately Adrian Martikov was desperately looking for their life savings that were in that chest that you picked.
Is there any drawbacks for being a raven? Yeah.
People fear lycanthropes of all description. The Martikov family have gone to great lengths to hide their abilities.
Bash will
years.
giggle from the other side of the room. Yes, people tend to fear what they do not understand.
The secrets are safe with us, right? Yeah.
And can I be like you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you be like
I
me?
want to be a were-raven too, man. That way I can fly.
She laughs and goes, maybe when you're older.
Aww.
Maybe one day
I give
you'll
like an
grow up.
audible and I stare at my feet.
If one day the Forest Fane is once again back in control in Barovia, maybe she would bless you as she has blessed the family of Martikov.
But
Cranky face on.
be sure, little one, not all gifts are entirely gifts. There is usually a touch of a curse attached to it.
So Adrian comes back and goes, those druids appear to have found our savings and headed off with them. I am so sorry that we cannot pay you.
They salt the earth they walk upon. Would we be able to stay here the night?
A cozy place to sleep would be wonderful.
You would be welcome as our guests.
I reckon we get a long rest in, and then I reckon we go to Yester Hill sooner rather than later.
I agree.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in the mood to go fight some
I want to
wolves.
smite some eagles. Fireballs.
We, if you are going to Yester Hill, we will accompany you. We will fly. We may or may not be any use to you. Obviously, Stefania will remain here. She has children, but myself and Davian and Adrian would be happy to accompany you.
Actually, I have a small idea. Do you have any dealings with the werewolves at all?
Not really. We are
Would
largely here. They
would
are
they
up into
attack
the
you?
mountains.
Would they attack you on sight? Is my question.
It depends on the werewolves.
Because werewolves can be quite formidable allies. I would, of course, have to stay downwind of them, but they may be useful against the druids.
You said
They are a long way to the north. They tend not to venture down to these lands. You may be able to find them.
you said you've watched the druid camp.
We know of it here.
Would you be able to guess their numbers?
It is. There have been many. The woods there are heavy. I have flown and sat in the canopy. I have seen many druids coming and going. It is difficult to know at any one time how many are there. They also have some trees under their control and several types of blight.
Can I control trees yet?
It is difficult to know how many there would be there right now. There are several shrines. There are many that come and go.
I can yell at trees. I can't control them. I've heard tell of werewolves that are immune to damage. Do you share that trait?
Unfortunately not.
That is unfortunate.
We are entirely damageable.
That is unfortunate.
Second flame.
You torched the Raven Lady. She's been nice to you.
You're very nice.
I don't have second flame.
Suspiciously
I'm
so,
just
to
saying.
be honest. But anyway.
Yeah, she's being very, very nice.
She's been potentially nicer than she
Than
could be.
most people in Barovia
Yeah.
in general.
Surely there's at least one nice person in Barovia, said Quinny shortly before death. Right. Shall we get a long rest?
You can get a long rest in if you'd
I
like.
would be long a rest.
I might ask one more thing. Was it? It's not Arena. That's the person who was travelling with us. Who's this Raven lady?
Muriel.
Muriel.
Sure.
If she has, say to her, I'm also trained as a druid, though an actual druid. not that disgrace. Do you know of any magical weaknesses these people have?
I'm afraid I don't
That's
know of
understandable.
any.
Thought I'd ask.
Bashful Plapper. Perhaps fire would be a good choice.
Please don't use it in my vineyard.
Oh, no,
says
we
David with his
We
head
have no intention of doing
heavily
damage to
buried
your
on the
vineyard.
table.
I
I
might actually
could
go
have and I
like
didn't
said
yet.
it, Damien. Without the gem, are you worried for the future of your vineyard?
We were blessed. You know, it is how our vineyard has managed to grow crops for so many years. Now, you may have noticed that crops do not tend to grow well in Barovia. We are the only vineyard, and before we had the gem, the Forest Fane blessed our vineyard. Being entrusted with the gem continued that small island of goodness within the land of Barovia. I am concerned that the harvests will fail.
I don't know if it will work, but I can try a spell that may allow your vineyard to work after we come back from the Druid camp.
That would be most kind.
Or at least, I can do 150 feet area. If you pick out the best crops that are left, I can try it there.
That would be most kind and very appreciated.
Actually, sorry, no, it's a half-mile radius with the 8-hour version.
Yep.
That'd be the vineyard.
That would be
And
a
the
good
surrounding-
chunk of vineyard, yeah.
It'll cover a pretty decent chunk of the vineyard.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that spell thing after the long rest.
Okay, yes.
So I'm going to go for God's Hammer.
Okay.
Ooh, what does that do?
A critical hit.
Love it.
It's a 20.
Can you add
Oh wait,
guidance?
that is a 20.
Can you add guidance to that?
I got it anyway.
Oh, cool.
Because I got 7. Plus 7.
On your religion.
You should have plus 8.
Well,
if
plus
you're
6
proficient.
for religion.
Guidance it.
Guidance? Yeah.
Can guidance go on that check? Wow. 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that got you the 20.
Yeah.
I'll burn a first level spell slot if I need to, if it's something like that. That'd be cool.
No. Well, it's not special guidance.
It's just guidance.
It's just guidance. Okay. So
Remember,
you drink
religion
for a
is like
while,
the
and then and the Martikovs say take your pick of whichever rooms you wish. Our vineyard is yours for the evening. Stefania has gone and found some food, some sort of bread and some sort of potato sort of soup.
While no one's in the room, Bash will pour a glass of his special vintage.
Grizzly.
Okay. Yep.
Quinny has
Anything else to do before you move on?
Quinny has only 1 or 2 glasses of wine,
Wow.
which is more or less not drinking.
Okay.
And then, are there still like tons of twig blights outside, or vine blights?
No, they disappeared. So as the
lovely.
as you saw the druid that escaped out of the window disappearing off south, you saw the needle blights and that had been patrolling the vineyard disappear with them.
Oh, cool. Have we leveled up yet?
Yeah, you can level up on this.
So, do I have my 3rd level spell slots before we go for a long rest? Okay, cool. Never mind then. Sweet. Not good. Quinny will go find a place outside to spend the night.
Okay. The outside seems reasonably on.
Did I just unlock that rating to the door? I assume I did. So I didn't-
After hearing that, Quinny goes back inside and just cracks a window. And,
Just opens the window and looks out. No, it's safe. You know. Okay. Yep. You had a reasonable
Holy shit.
wisdom save. Everything wrong.
Rain to the dawn is
Wisdom
an action
save.
you can use.
Sorry,
Channel
what was
Divinity
that one?
presents your holy symbol to spell any magical darkness within 30 feet. Additionally,
Fuck,
each
that's
hostile
a nat
creature
one.
within 30 feet that doesn't have total power
17.
must make a con saving
Wisdom
throw.
save.
DC 16 or take 2d10 plus
That is a
5
decent
radiant damage.
24.
Wisdom save.
Channel divinity, something of the dawn.
Oh yeah, that's how I
Yeah,
got
right,
killed
so-
against bloody doofus in I got killed twice using that. What was it? What was his name? Him with the priest, where I got the mirror.
Yeah, I remember.
Brownian.
Yeah.
Oh, Grinkville.
Yeah, Grinkville. Don't like him. I killed him twice. Yeah.
I think we've
We killed
every
everybody twice.
big bad
Sorry.
we've killed twice.
I've got carried away
worth
of
doing once,
walking
it's
in
worth
and
doing
going,
twice.
radius of the dawn! no! And everybody takes loads of damage, and then they just go, fucking dead.
Nothing makes you a bigger target than literally glowing on fire.
Radius of the door. Oh,
It's a really good way to draw attention to yourself.
It's alright if they're totally dead. If they're not completely dead, it makes you a big target, is my personal advice.
Yeah, makes
Yes.
sense.
I used it twice. I got killed both times. I used it at Father Christmas and Cheese Carver,
Yeah.
and I used it at Grooville and got
Much
killed
the
both
same effect.
times. Yes.
Down, not kill. You know?
Down. Yeah. Not killed. No. Okay.
Just have a
wisdom
little
saves. So, nat 1.
20.
Oh, we're doing wisdom
Yes.
saves.
Wisdom saves.
Wisdom
Net
saves.
1.
You really need to pass yours, just so you know.
18.
Plus,
What's it?
Wisdom
Oh, wisdom.
save.
Sorry,
A hell of a lot.
25.
that's alright. You lose your point of exhaustion. You have a very nice night's sleep.
Yay!
Are we all doing wisdom save? Right, well,
24.
You're fine.
Can't be the only one that fails it.
Pleasant night's sleep. Very peaceful. The
I
wine
think
is
you got
lovely.
No,
There, I got a nat one.
Fresh-ish.
Well, I did on my.
It's all rosy and fresh.
14.
So, Harleen and Ethidwe, your sleep is troubled. Harleen, you just can't get. Every time you close your eyes, all you can see is that wooden head of you just looking back
like
at you.
it.
And every time you try and turn, it seems to be following
Followers.
you around the room.
No thanks.
And you just cannot get to sleep. You toss and you turn, and every time you open your eyes, you're sure you can see it on top of the mantle. It's not there. You take a point of exhaustion. Ethidwe, you. I know, I'm brutal.
That's rough.
Very brutal.
Not
That's
the
what she
fight
did.
up.
That's what
One-
she did to me.
I'm letting you level up. One night, no sleep. Yeah.
Still.
No effects for long rest of them. You can level up, take all your hit points. But one level of exhaustion.
That's what I got the turn.
That's
for,
why you got
I
to
know.
do it.
That's why I had no
Ethidwe,
spell slots
again,
left, and I had no.
you see the hag,
What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, you had
the
restoration,
slicing of
but,
her
it's
throat
like a fifth of
as
this.
you came up, going, I like a pie, and then slashed her throat, and you see her die, and then you see her come back, and then you kill her again, and then she comes back, and you kill her again, and then you see her come back, and that just as an over the course of the evening, you must kill this hag hundreds and hundreds of times in your sleep.
Sisyphus.
With a 14, you do not take a level of exhaustion. It's the one. But you are very just disquieted and uneasy. The rest of you have a fabulous night's sleep, fueled by lovely wine and a comfortable bed / tree, and wake relatively fresh to head out on the road to Yester Hill.
All right.
Do we get breakfast?
You can. So you'll find that the rest of the family have come back. So Darg and the children have all come back, and breakfast of what looks like wild boar meat and potato slices, because lots of potatoes and gravy, has been cooked if you like.
Yes.
Some food would be lovely.
Do you know how
Back?
far away
Nice.
Yester Hill is?
No, my hip, My
A body
hips.
part.
my hips just slipped out. And that was my knee cracking. It was the wrong part of my body that I wanted to crack.
Just like your character.
Crack a different part.
Do we know how far away Yester Hill is?
You.
It's yonder.
Hopefully a good day or
It's
two's
yonder.
travel so people can get past the exhaustion.
Over yonder.
You. So you've got your map. So you pull out. You pull out your map and. Okay. So you are currently over here.
Someone really should press to just take the blood off this one. Oh wow, we're far away.
Yeah. So this is the lucky.
Where's
So it's,
Yester Hill?
you know that
We're,
was
near-
a.
we're nearly off the map.
You know,
Yeah, where's Yester Hill?
down here.
Ah,
Right.
So this was you know a long afternoon.
north or
otherwise
south
quite
of an hour, do
evening.
you think?
Down there, probably just not about an hour and a half, maybe.
I'm guessing
It's
this
there's a path.
I'm
I mean,
guessing
it's
this
not
whole
difficult.
realm.
Now,
is
is there a
like
tomorrow hill in the other
microscopic
direction?
compared to, like, random.
It's
Is there a
Tomorrow
tomorrow
Hill.
it's
Crest
tiny
is
compared to
Crest is
random.
up there.
It does have a
there's
few
an abbey
more things
which
going
looks
on.
towards tomorrow.
Yes,
I
it's
suppose.
What way does the sun rise?
Once we're about an hour away, or
Yep.
a little less than an hour,
Yep.
I'll drop a pass without trace on us, so we can maybe sneak up if possible.
Okay.
And I can do that as well if the ravens are still following us. They can just kind of come down low, and I can put it on them as well.
Okay.
Plus 10 to stealth checks.
Okay.
Oh, this is pretty.
Plus 10 is stealth check.
Plus
We all
10
get
to
plus
stealth.
10 because of pass without trace.
Plus that trace. So
Great spell.
you're coming in from the north, going down to the vineyard, which is to the south. Of
That lets you roll like ridiculous.
Plus 18 stealth check.
I got a plus 15.
Are we rolling stealth?
And even though you don't, you can roll stealth if you want to. If you're
Well, I
stealthy.
was going to say we
If
should
you are
maybe.
stealthy,
I was going to say maybe we ditch the path once we get close and head in right off the beaten track.
Disadvantage. Disadvantage on all checks.
Natural 20 for a 33.
Well, I only got a 5, so thankfully I got that plus 10, so 16.
25.
Plus 10.
Plus 10, whatever you roll.
No, you're rolling in the game logs. When he's rolling in the game logs. I'm used to my rolls seeing it, but not other people's. Because
I got roll off 25.
I only rolled
on my
an
left
8
side.
as well.
But yeah, the plus 10 helps.
a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
So I'll leave you group both know you can go off the path if you want to. So as you walk down from the vineyard, even though it's relatively early in the morning, it's at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. As you walk into the forest, the canopy is dense and heavy, and it gets dark, and the forest is almost completely quiet. Quinny would notice that immediately. It's almost completely quiet. You can hear the wind through the branches of the trees, but you can't hear any bird song. You can't hear any creatures running through the underbrush. It seems unnervingly quiet.
Really contemplates screaming out something in some bird language, but decides that would be a wonderful idea.
It feels very
Bad?
peaceful.
Nah. Queenie's ignoring that and saying aloud, "This is a very bad place. I can sense bad people."
There are
Prepping a fight.
as you walk through the forest, you can see what appear to be shrines, sort of circles of candles in small clearings in the trees around the place you walk through. As you walk through the forest,
Can you tell who they're shrines to?
you recognise these as sort of druidic offerings. They don't necessarily appear to be.
They're not to the
anyone.
spooky toothy.
You can't see any teeth.
Okay, well, that's
Depends how
encouraging.
close you get to it. I'm not spreading you out because you're spread out. It was mainly intended. There's what appear to be effigies hanging from the trees. Some look like humans, some look like elves, some look like dwarves. Not hanging in a noose hanging, just hanging
Suspended from the trees.
suspended from the trees.
That is an unfortunate double of words.
Almost like this forest is being decorated in some way.
Queenie's again going to say this is a very bad place, despite what sounds like.
I'm going to move into the sliding
Mm-hmm.
and scout around.
As you come down, there appears to be an entrance to what appears to be an entrance to a cave that disappears under the ground. In this forest, you can see this sort of opening, and there's heavy mist and fog that appears to be sweeping out of this cave onto the underbrush of this forest.
When he goes up and tastes a little bit of the fog, does it taste like magical fog?
It tastes wet.
Okay.
It's like damp.
fog.
Vash will activate Eldritch Sight just to see if there's any magic emanating from the cave.
The whole place,
So his sky blue eyes are glowing like a pale blue.
the whole place has this low-level sort of magical signature of fey, druidic, land-based magic. You don't detect anything arcane. You do detect druidic, land-based. You see Quinny emanating in the same gentle,
A much
sort
nicer
of-
version.
a
less
very
evil
gentle
version.
breed, as opposed
There's
to
definitely
a
fey
slightly
magic
hard.
about. Not exactly centralised, it's kind of everywhere.
It's
You
definitely
do
Did it say
notice
it was
that
a
these.
fey-
You do notice that this energy seems to be centered around these circular shrines, and that there does appear to be around the cave, but it's all land-based, sort of druidic magic.
Are we going in? Is there sound like there's anywhere else other than this cave to go, or is that kind of that's the
Yeah, you
direction?
can have a look around the forest and have a look.
Investigate the
Go down
shrines.
your head. What do you want to do?
Can I look on the shrines?
Yep. Which one do you want to look at?
The one on the right.
There's one here,
Yeah,
there's one
that
there,
one.
there's one up here.
If
there's one
I
down
use
there,
prestidig-
there's a couple around here.
if I use prestidigitation to snuff out the
I'm going to grab
candles,
your hand as you go to do that, and just shake my head. That's a very bad idea.
I was just going to see if the candles affect the magic.
Don't mess with the shrines, I think.
So there's a couple. There's like one you can see down here. There's candles that you can see through the trees.
Yeah, the one on the right.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I do a maybe history or something check to see if I know if these might be serving a purpose, or if it's just a kind of devotional thing, or and how bad of an idea messing with them would be?
And can I do some kind of check, like religion or something, to see if I know something
Yep.
about them?
I know I just said history. Any chance it could be insight?
Yeah, that's only at 11.
All right, fair enough.
What about? I suppose it's not.
Yep, that figures. That's a 5.
You've not seen. You've seen circles of candles like this in terms of focusing druidic magic in the Fae. You've not seen anything like this outside of the Fae.
Okay.
I got an 11.
Religious, you have this would certainly not fit within any of the organised religious practices of which you're familiar.
Can I do like a perception check just to
It's
see
all
if
bad shit from your perspective.
can I do like perception or something? See if there's
Only the
what's
Fae should
in
be
this
doing
place.
this stuff.
Is there any
Are they messing with magic beyond their ken?
entities of the shrines?
Okay, so if you
As someone
Sorry,
beyond,
say
as
that
someone
again?
beyond mortal can,
say
absolutely.
that again, Dave.
Can I do like a perception check
Yeah.
to see if there's like any oddities about the shrine or any specific items there that they're
Yeah.
using in the shrine? 13.
As you approach the shrine, you see a really clear image of a druid dressed very similarly to the druid that you saw in the winery, with the hood and the long sort of cloak and the belt, slitting the throat of a struggling person and dripping that blood into the ground.
Ooh, yummy.
That does definitely not
This is
sound very
concerning.
druidic to
Just in
me.
case I haven't made my position on these people clear enough.
They're druids.
I'm just
Quinny,
Only you've
point
seen
at
that.
the point.
I'm gonna
outside.
message Quinny and be like, I suspect we have happened across a cult. There is an image.
We're
some
druids.
throat
We're all in
slitting.
cults. The trick is to find the good ones.
Would we say
No,
it's-
like sacrifice people cult.
Oh, cult.
would we say it's
cult.
shrine?
Can I
Indian?
check out
A
this
shrine to
picture? Is there druidic on it or anything like
say
that?
On-
This either shrine or
Yep.
picture that Zephyr's showing me.
Yeah, so you head over there to where where Zephyr is. You can't see any words, but as you get there, you see a circle of druidic people of varying races, some dwarven, some elven, some human, all robed in a
standing
circle.
around.
Does
in
this
a
look
circle,
live?
chanting and clearly driven by some great anger and vengeance and sort of diatribe.
Is there some sort of check I can roll to
You
see if
can't
this
see
is...
them.
Sorry,
That's what you see.
so do they look like people, like actual people who are here currently, or are they like? No. Do they look like they can see us? So we're standing in the middle of them.
And as you look away, look back, then
Right.
Maybe we should check out the others.
This place is bad.
Is that a technical term?
The technical term is
It's like...
let's
bad
hold
for
fast while we're
Barovia.
still in the place. I think the word that comes to mind is desecrated. This is not a place of
just
worship.
keeping an eye on, make sure no one's
This is
followed
not a
us
place of
from the
honor.
vineyard sort of thing.
so you wander past this as you're looking around, making sure that the road behind is clean. You walk past
Bathe
that
them in
train,
holy fire.
and
The druids
you
here
see,
are angry, which they shouldn't be.
you also see
Anger doesn't seem like something you do.
but you see them
Righteous
kneeling
anger is fair.
and
I don't know about this.
worshipping, and they this huge feeling of sadness and melancholy washes over you that these are a good people who are desperately trying to achieve something, and you feel this huge, overwhelming feeling of empathy and sympathy for whoever this group of people are.
Okay. So like,
And
there's
as you-
nobody actually at the shrine.
You
Or
look
this
back,
is just
look
what
where
I
they
hear.
But again, you see hooded figures. You see them kneeling and worshipping and just
When you can see
sad.
Do we hear anything?
Funny.
Do we hear what they're saying?
You can
or-
hear them chanting, and you can hear them asking for a way back to the land.
I think we need to get out of here.
I think we need to kill them all.
I don't know if we need to kill
I
them
think we need to
all.
help them back
Can we
to
go
their
in there?
land.
I'm happy to help them if they're
So they're all
willing
hooded
to give up
figures.
the
Can
name.
we see anything?
And we all see
familiar?
something different, yeah?
It depends where you go. So where are you?
I'll sneak around and see if I can see anything with people's faces reflected from the light or something like that.
Okay,
I'll do a
where are
stealth
you
check.
sneaking?
So whereabouts are the
So,
hooded figures?
So, well, you haven't seen any.
Alright.
So everybody,
Illusions.
so they have seen them at these shrines. There is another shrine
In Vash,
down
I've changed
here
my
at the
mind.
bottom.
Take out the
Down
shrines.
here at the bottom left.
Okay.
There's one down there that
The-
you can see through the.
The closest
Or
shrine,
there's one up by Harleen, or there was one over there by Mr. Zephyr.
the closest shrine to Vash.
Mhm.
I'll use prestidigitation.
Yeah.
Snuff out the candles.
Okay. Are you going over towards it?
No, I'm doing this from a distance. I can do that from 10 feet away.
Okay. So I'll leave you where you are.
Yeah.
Still a distance.
when you're
Well
making
finished.
stupid decisions, that's not much
For
distance.
the one immediately above you.
Yeah. Oh, look.
The one that I'm
candles-
at.
No.
the which one are you aiming
Yeah.
at?
That'd be sad.
Pick a candle.
Any
Any
candle.
candle.
I'd also like to
I
say,
really
so
don't wanna dump.
I go over to Vosh to set up, so then
No,
I'm staying
don't.
behind, so-
And all of a sudden, she's a cover appears.
No. the one closest to Vash.
Which is the one above here.
Yeah.
Okay. As the lights, as the candles blink out,
Oh, and I'm prepared to fire something else if something pops up.
as the lights blink out, you see this really clear image of a hooded figure right in front of you, coming towards you with a knife, with burning hatred in their eyes. At the same time, Harleen, the candles relight, and you see the same hooded figures sobbing and just wanting a release of the suffering of their people.
Okay. I have a question. Does everyone see this man in front of me? What do you see?
They just want help. They just want. They want
These shrines are
harm.
messing with their minds.
I think we should get out of here.
We need to help.
Do we need to go into the cave, or do we need to get out of here?
Can
To the
I
cave!
can I do a vibe check on the cave?
A VB check.
Yeah.
You
Can I
VB
check out the
VB check,
VBs?
okay.
How far away are the
Precisely.
crows? Like, have they
What's
come
your
in?
druidic
sorry.
VB check?
It's only a 14 on the VBs.
What's a baby?
I
That's
don't
an
know,
insight
I just
check.
invented it.
Okay.
The vibe check.
Vibe check. You're not feeling clubbing?
You
like
feel
there's
it's
no bass?
very powerful.
Gotta pass the vibe check,
Go
man.
to a different.
Gotta pass the vibe check.
It's not the bass is
You don't actually get a sense of it being of intent or whether it would be good or evil. You just get a powerful sense of fey and druidic energy.
Okay. I say I'm gonna go into the cave because I'm fey, so I'm magic resistant. Assuming I don't die or something, I think we should all go in there.
I agree. Let's go to the
I
cave.
think
I'll-
hanging
before we
around
go in-
here is going to end very bad.
I'll
Before
pluck a
we-
few strings on my lute and cast protection versus good and protection from good and evil on myself.
Where are our crow friends?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
they come with us?
You can hear them in so they are in raven form. You can hear them in the canopy above. You can talk to them.
I'll talk to them telepathically and say, we're heading in the cave. You're welcome to come too.
And you hear back. We will watch from here. We're not going to.
Okay.
Hang on. Is there something we need to know about this cave specifically?
Any like hags? like
In
like
25
words.
words or more, what can you tell us about this
Or
cave?
Or more. Thank you. Or more.
You hear this sort of throaty chuckle of we don't know anything
Alright,
about this particular cave, but we don't like being underground.
When I die in this cave and you bury my body, I need you to carve my face unimpressed on my tombstone.
I'll follow you in because I've protected myself.
I'm gonna keep up.
Fine.
I'm gonna keep up Pass Without Trace for now, just because maybe we'll need it in the future. So, yeah, cool. All right, let's go.
Okay.
I've got protection from evil and good on.
How big's this cave?
I think we're just going in first because magic resistance and stuff. In case it is something very, very
If there's
bad.
any Fae in there, they've got disadvantage against using anything.
As you head in to this cave, as you're walking down the steps, the fog becomes warm. It's almost like walking into the warm mist that comes over the top of a bath, of a hot bath. It
Still
tastes
fog.
foggy.
It's important to establish these things.
There are candles that are sort of haphazardly placed on ledges in the rock, and light the way. And as you, nothing appears to happen to you as you walk into this cave.
Okay. All right.
And again, you don't sense anything other than druidic energy and fey.
Bright Eyes, are you getting anything?
In order to keep his protection up, I can't actually see the magic.
That's exceedingly helpful. Thank you very much. I have a bell branch. Let me see. I can do. No, that's only. That detects the presence of creatures within 6 feet. Doesn't actually do magic. Cool. All right. I think Quinny will go stick her head back out and kind of motion everyone to come in stealthily again. Still got Pass Without Trace. I think we should all be sneaking still.
As you walk down into this cave, you see a hunched figure starts to turn and look at you, and the face is all scarred, and there are no eyes in the head, but you feel very intently that they can see you. Lane's prophecy. You are here, either to bring forth the prophecy or Die trying.
Does that name mean anything to us, Helene?
History check.
It's not my strong suit. Can I guidance myself on
Yep.
that? Oh, that's 21.
18.
Have no idea.
So-
Queenie for
17.
once is like certain she doesn't know anything instead
Yep,
of being
you are
uncertain she
100%
doesn't know.
certain that you do not know.
17.
You haven't heard that name, Chulain.
Shalane or Helene?
Chulain.
With a ch.
Yeah.
Chulain?
Yeah,
Chulain.
Chulain.
Interesting.
Chulai. Chulain.
It'd be good if I was taking notes.
It's fine. I can provide them. Chulain.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I can.
Do they look hostile or angry or anything, or are they just kind of standing, regarding the
Punched. So as you came down the steps, the sort of turning, sort of punched in the middle of this chamber.
I'm just
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, just uncomfortable.
All your joints attached to your arms.
Well, I'm off medication at the moment,
rough?
and I haven't started my new ones yet because I need to like have 2 weeks between the old ones
Yeah,
and
doctors
starting
are
the new
fast.
ones, and I'm like, this is
Otherwise
fine.
they clash.
Doctors are fast. We do
Trying,
that
trying to make sure your heart
piss you
doesn't
off.
stop.
Yeah,
stop
we do that
nonsense like
deliberately to piss you off.
Yes, because how dare you worry about your heart stopping?
Would you
Overrated.
Would you know the prophecy?
Is that person asking this? How much does Queenie know? Because Queenie knows.
Yeah, which
Queenie
prophecy?
knows a lot.
Vaguely.
You don't know anything about a prophecy
Oh,
to
okay,
do with
cool.
somebody called Chulain. You've not.
Yeah. We have Chilean right here. No.
Please do that.
That's Chilblain. It's different.
Sorry, that's
yeah,
that
and
is
the long
Chilblain.
lost cousin.
The long lost cousin of Chilblain.
I actually am Chilean. Queenie's going to look at everyone else and see if anyone else knows some prophecy about someone or other.
I rolled a 10, so I don't think so.
No.
I rolled an 18.
Why don't you refresh our memory?
He reaches out, sort of clawed finger, and although no eyes, scarred across both eye sockets, reaches out and touches both Quinny and Harley. And you hear, he makes one speech, but you hear different things.
Oh,
So,
nice.
Harleen and Etherdry
Chris?
hear. You hear. To see the future, you must understand the past. The Druids have been forsaken by the villagers of Barovia, who praise their false god, the Morning Lord.
Blasphemy!
The Druids were
God, my
driven
fireballs
from the
quite so
villages to the forests. The Dark Lord came and cursed the Druids, removing their ability to shapeshift.
Ooh, all of them.
The
Doesn't excuse
Druids
anything.
planted one of the final Fey trees upon Yester Hill, the ancient burial mound of their people. And the tree's roots grew deep into the mound and tapped into the Druid ancestry, calling upon the spirits beneath to protect the Druids in the land from the evil of men and the Dark Lord. And the tree has found an ancient Druid, Gulthias, to help guide them. They have found one of the Fey gems, which they have sworn to protect. They seek to animate a wicker man to return the land to nature, to rid the valley of the corruption which man has brought through wars and prayers to false gods, and to end the reign of the Dark Lord. The future. The Druids need your help if the lands are to be restored to a natural way. Go now. Help them defeat the evils men has brought into the valley. It is your destiny.
So that's what these two hear.
That's what they do. While he's
They hear
speaking,
their
the
correction.
four of you hear, to see the future you must understand the past. The druids were driven to the forest when the first kings came.
Oh, because you guys
The
got the
villagers turned toward the Morning
Oh,
Lord,
yeah, I've got
forsaking the
Fire
druids.
blows himself up.
When the Dark Lord captured the mountain Fae, the druids tried to rescue her, but the Dark Lord struck them down and cursed the druids, removing their ability to shapeshift. With the Fae gone and no one remaining to guide them, the druids planted the last Fae tree on their druidic burial mound centuries ago. They knew in time the Fae tree's roots would dig deep into the burial mound and tap into the dead spirits buried there. The tree's roots found an ancestor of the druids from many thousands of years ago, Gulthias, and the tree spoke to the druids to guide them into seeking vengeance against those who forsaked them. And Gulthias asks for sacrifices
It's not the Jedi
and
way.
in return protects the druids. Gulthias' roots grew over many centuries, seeking power, and located the Fae gem hidden beneath the winery. He commanded the druids to retrieve it, has had them build a wicker man and place the gem within. He wishes to escape his prison, trapped inside the Fae tree. He wishes to roam the valley as he once did, becoming the wicker man. Culain learned that the Fae tree has been corrupted, for Gulthias was a druid, corrupted by the dark powers of the Amber Temple. Gulthias, a vampire, was killed by a stake and buried on Yester Hill. The Fae tree's roots have found the wooden stake and have been corrupted by his dark powers. Culain warned his people that it was too late, and they are under Gulthias' spell.
You ready to burn a tree down?
Culain is a druid. Culain
Yeah.
foresaw adventurers from afar would come to restore the druids' faith in the Fae and nature, to turn them from their evil ways. The heart of Gulthias must be destroyed to end his reign and prevent him from escaping as the Wicker Man. The future. Should you succeed,
Have we
I
met
see
Culain?
you in snow-covered mountains, a ruined village lost to time and remembrance. An elder awaits who will guide you to a red gem. No
And
more
who are
have
you?
I seen. Go now, there is little time. Culain awaits you at the Temple of Kavan at the foot of Yester Hill.
Damn.
And then
I'm gonna.
you wake up outside the cave.
I'll
Well,
Outside the cave.
that was odd.
Pretty standard face stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah. Time and space
Now,
are pretty
I'm
subjective.
I'm going. No, this is going to be a silly question, but as we saw different things out here, did we hear different things?
Harley
in there?
would kind of just be looking
I don't think
at
that's even worth examining. Let's go.
Priesty Boy because of the shit that she heard about the Morning Lord. She would just, be kind of, I don't know about this.
Vash, I know this is going to be a really uncomfortable personal question. How do we kill a vampire?
I thought you were going to ask if they were related.
So,
No, that's just racist.
a full vampire is killed in specific ways. I'm not going to tell you how to kill me.
No, I wouldn't presume to ask.
A stake through the heart.
You cut my head off, I'm stone dead.
Well, that's pretty standard for most things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You behead
yeah,
them.
Yeah.
Also,
Cut most of
fire
my body
is
parts.
quite effective.
I think we have to go do some gardening.
Yeah.
So you took a screenshot of it.
She took a screenshot.
I think we're going to go some burning off.
Thanks, Kev.
I'm much more of an
You
animal
know,
druid.
stop the
Well,
spread.
well, you guys have heard that. I've just heard.
Yeah.
I'm just drawing my daggers like, so, trying to waste some village, eh?
Sorry.
You mean
What's wrong
druids, right?
It is the druids that is the
No,
problem.
no. The druids are under a spell. We're
They're
no
under-
longer
This is
brutally
where I
murdering
need a
druids.
druid,
Druid,
okay?
okay?
There's
There's lots of souls down there.
So
I think
many
we burn
Oh,
some.
no, I don't care what he
souls.
See,
Way
this is-
inside
if
The
the
they
church
try
is
to
the problem.
stop
The
us,
church
we
are
will
what
burn.
took away
Okay.
the druid's power.
See,
We
this is
can't-
why
we
I
just
asked
need to
what
burn
did
the
everyone
truth.
hear.
Anyway, I'm just looking at you guys.
Yeah.
Shut up, God boy.
Yeah.
So, what I'm assuming here, by the way, these two are acting, they heard something very different to what we heard.
Church's fault that the druids lost their shapeshifter.
In what universe do you live in?
The
In the
druid,
universe that I've just experienced.
did she talk about a tree?
Yes.
The tree is the problem.
Precisely.
No, the tree.
No, but the morning one's the
There's an
problem.
evil
Since
vampire
the
that's going to turn
morning
into the
lord came.
And then
Wicker Man.
those pesky
But
villagers.
since the morning lord came,
What are the odds
that's
that
when
both
the
of us were
issues arose.
horrifically lied to, knowing the fact? I'm thinking like 60%, 70%.
Well,
I'm
You can roll
convinced.
Let's go to the foot of
inside
the
or
desk.
on
Can we do a
That's
fey
the foot.
fuckery check?
You can do a fake
Okay.
fuckery check.
Yeah.
Below the leg.
Inside.
Here's a question. Here's a question.
I'm rolling well for the first time ever. That's
Yeah.
a 23.
You are actually 100% sure that what you heard was an accurate prophecy in the same way that you were
With
Madame
Madame
Eve.
Eve. Okay. Quinny sits down and lights a pipe while you're arguing, and then
Right.
horrifically
So,
coughs and
here's-
sputters because pipes are awful.
Here's the question. Here's the
Terrible.
question.
I'll stick to drinking.
How well did everyone sleep last night?
I slept
So-
great.
Didn't get
Listen,
away.
I know this is going to
Right.
sound
It was
awfully
horrible.
convenient,
I feel
but
much
I'm correct and you two are wrong.
How well did everyone sleep?
Just because what you believe, what you think is true, doesn't mean it's actually
the
true.
four of us
I'm afraid
slept well, and we all heard
Usually
one
you're
story.
right. Usually you're right. But
Yeah,
this time
it
it,
means I'm
this time
right.
it
They
actually
didn't.
does.
And
No.
they heard a different
No.
story.
This time it actually
I
does.
think
No.
their minds are being missed.
Listen,
That should take time.
I know what I heard.
What are you talking
and
about?
say
Deal with the
I
Wicker
know.
Man.
Yeah. It's okay.
But you're like
Ethelby-
7, who can
Ethelby-
look
No,
at
like,
From a,
I'm
from
10
a,
and missed it.
and you are 100%
Sure, that our truth is the right truth.
that your truth is
Yeah.
right.
Our truth is the real truth, not your false truth.
I really don't want to.
You are 100%
Down with the church.
sure,
Ethelby.
with knowledge of the Fae,
With knowledge of the fact. Okay.
that what you heard was the absolute truth.
Do I have to waste the spell
Down
slots?
with the church.
Down with
Down
and
with
the
the
villagers.
church.
I'm the
Both the suggestion of force and the help.
But he gets to start school.
Yeah, well, either that or we might
So,
These
They
poor
might be
druids
able
have to live without half
There
their power.
is another way. I know how we can find the truth. It's a very old druidic ritual. Quinny pulls out 6 bottles of wine and hands them to Harleen, and then another 6 for the
Those
child.
are the poison ones, or are they the ones that are?
Do I
Quinny,
have-
Quinny doesn't
I mean,
have
I
that
won't say
that
no to
much
free
wine.
alcohol.
Do I have to do this?
What can you do?
I can make them help us.
I
We don't
don't
want to
think
help
that's a
you.
great
We're
solid
helping the
long-term
enemy
plan.
for helping you.
Here's my pitch. Why don't we go meet this? It's not Cathilda, but it's Vegas.
Kalei.
Kalain. Kalain. Okay, cool. I can remember
Or
Kalain.
Yes,
Cathilda,
meet
his
Kalain
sister.
and get the truth from them.
Why don't we go meet Kalain, and I'm happy to have a conversation.
And see what the truth actually is. See
We
which,
can
which
see
one
what
of
they
us is
have to
correct.
offer.
I guarantee he does the same shit.
And
tells
then,
them
and then
the
when
same
the Fae
story.
screw us over because they're Fae, we can go from there.
Hey, let's go
Alternatively,
find Kalain.
alternatively, here's my other pitch. We
Yes.
flip a coin over.
Alternatively, we burn down the church
Hell
and give the druids
no.
back their
Actually,
their
no.
power.
Actually, yes. Because I believe that the coin will land in my favour.
Mr. Zephyr, sir, what do you
God
think?
is on our side.
God is on our side. Morning
I'm
Lord is
a
on our
druid,
side.
not a cleric. I
Do
don't
we
believe
kill
that.
the
But
villagers and
I'm happy to flip a
Morning
coin
Lord?
over the plan.
Or
You will do nothing without
Avenge
the
the
approval of the rest of the group.
druids. We must avenge the
I
druids.
suspect either way.
Either
Our first
way.
priority is getting back to
Okay,
stone.
here's the thing though. This just really quickly.
Druids
This is
have
really
the
important
stone.
for our
He's saying
imminent
to
survival.
him, I'm assuming who
But
you
I'll
say.
Imminent
say-
survival,
I'll
this
say
is
to
really
you,
important.
I'll say to you.
You can say it to me. I don't care who you say.
The druids have the stone.
It's really
We
important.
get back
It's
to
really
stone.
important. Imminent survival stuff. The number one thing the Fae are really good at is fuckery. They will-
Exactly.
No, I'm not done. This is really important. They will try to turn us on each other. Whatever we do, we need to be doing it united.
And with a fireball.
Now,
Exactly.
while I don't trust your beliefs, I do trust your judgment. I mean, in
I
the
don't-
most
because
respect
you-
I possibly
I don't
can.
trust either
And
of
you make sure you go second hand
Smells
shopping
fishy.
first.
The monk as well. I think you've stumbled into the right answer, and with all due respect, I don't know if the two of you have the best ephemerate wisdom of the group. I mean in a very caring way. You're very good at what you do. You're very good at what you do.
Both
You look very
excellent what
tired.
you
But
do,
it's the
but
knowledge I've gained in my 10 years of
you are young, child. You have much to learn about the world.
Why? I'm not getting paid enough for this bullshit.
As much as you
You're
would
getting
not believe
paid.
it, I'm the eldest of the group.
I got promised coin at the end, I'm
But
sure.
luckily, I'm
Someone
easily
promised
persuaded,
you
so,
coin?
you know.
Yeah,
Exactly.
didn't you guys get offered
If
coin?
Mr.
I
Zephyr
fell
does
asleep in a
something, I'm
tree and
going
woke up being attacked by wolves. That was how I got here.
I chose to come here.
I don't do anything unless coin's involved.
I'm on a mission.
Thank you for teaching me another naughty word.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Fuckery.
I think Quinny's fine. They're words. They're natural. It's like, you know, you gotta let the child play in dirt so it doesn't get sick all the time.
I'm like singing.
That sounds about right.
Fuckering all the way down.
So,
This week.
acting as a united front, what's the plan?
To
Take down the morning ward.
Maybe kill a god is not the first step of that plan.
Either
I
way,
didn't
we need
say-
to speak to this Elaine to find out what's going
Said
on.
it was the first step.
I'm gonna
I just said
assume
it was
she's under some
a
kind of
step.
spell and ignore that shit.
Can
I just
I-
think she's easily led.
Does it seem likely
Like a
that
sheep.
this is an
And perhaps
enchantment?
evil.
Like, if I do dispel magic, will that
What
yield
does the Morning
results?
Lord command?
Or does it seem like
Sacrifice
does it
the
seem like
sheep.
she's acting of her own accord?
No, you lead the sheep into the light. Even
love
I
it.
know that about the moment.
That was
With
about
the evil
that's-
sheep, the
that is
light
a
kills them.
Not that I prescribe to
Hell yeah.
that particular
16.
belief system, but
You feel she's acting of her own accord and she genuinely believes it.
okay, cool. The most powerful magic of all.
Belief.
The truth.
The truth, yes.
Misinformation.
The real truth.
Chronomancy.
So you heading to find Elaine?
Sure.
Do we know where he is?
Isn't that the first thing you want to do anyway, though? Like, you can't kill the Morning Lord standing in this forest, right?
No, I guess
So
not.
where's-
You
So you're
are
trying
fake
to
news.
restore the goods.
Do we know where Elaine is, though?
You're trying to decorrupt the goods.
Yeah, we have the same goal here.
wrong,
Yes.
wrong.
Wrong. Alright. Do we have a direction for this person?
Yeah, we know it.
Yeah, so at the foot of Yester Hill was where
Oh,
you
okay.
were told to go. So as you walk out of the...
Oh yeah, this looks like a place of very good, wonderful, wholesome people.
Vashly wandering towards the
You can
back
tell
of the
the
group, just
putrescence
muttering
in
to
there.
himself, children. Because like, everyone except Zephyr,
Nice.
because everyone except Zephyr considers a
all
child.
right.
Just saying.
I'm gonna do something I'm gonna regret deeply later.
Am I about to get stabbed by a Nazgul?
Yeah.
Wait.
We
Also, we're
both
not
are.
actually at Yester Hill yet. We were going through a
Harleen.
forest or
You were going to
something.
the forest all the way to Yester
Could
Hill.
I
Yeah,
try
okay,
and
yeah.
provide you
Into
with
it,
some clarity?
Sure.
Before we head to Yester Hill, Quinny is going to put a hand on Harleen's shoulder and say, "May the wisdom of the owls guide you." I'm going to cast Enhance ability. So for the next hour or until I lose concentration, you have advantage on wisdom checks. Or you have
I
straight
regular
wisdom check.
rolls.
Yeah. You're,
Yeah.
just in case someone decides to go crazy and try to kill us all. I don't want it to be the fight. I'm then going to say, not super quietly to Vash, keep an eye on the kid.
I'm well aware.
Where's
I've
your
got an eye
lightning
on the
effects?
kid.
Where's your lightning effects? Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, on that, I cannot hold a candle to what Emma can do on Foundry. It is incredibly impressive. Although,
Well, this is what I did at work, so...
my other DM
It
friend,
was time
my
well
other DM
spent.
friend has a
I
soundboard.
sat in the office and did this stuff.
Has a soundboard, and so
Yeah,
we
yeah,
do like
yeah.
gunshot effects and
Nice.
spell stuff. It's very cool.
Very cool.
So yeah, you have advantage to regular on thing
Regular
wisdom.
checks with an enhanced
Alrighty.
ability.
As you come out of the darkness of the forest, and you can see the ravens actually flying out and circling around right on the edge of the canopy. Thunder echoes across the sort of rolling mist, and lightning fills the sky. And as you see, a large hill stands before you with what seems to be concentric rings of stone
Are we running
Circles,
up the hill?
most evil shape of all.
rising to the top, and at the top
The
is
worst
a
kind of circle is
large,
concentric.
a large ring of huge, tall.
Are we running up the
sort of-
hill, making a deal with God?
Absolutely.
Hills are alive
Or that.
with the trees.
Hill-related musical theatre. Excellent. Huge stones standing on the top of this hill, and right in the distance is this huge tree reaching out that looks almost skeletal.
So evil.
It's a tree.
Queenie is standing next to Harley and being like, the tree's evil. Like, look at
Were
it.
we-
It's
what
got
were we
lightning
told about the
flashing
tree?
behind it.
We were told that it
they
was-
built it, so you would
You just killed a bird!
that they built
It's literally hanging
So we
somewhere.
want to
this
protect
is a
the
druid,
tree.
This is a druid.
So we
burial
want to
mound.
protect
You
the
would
tree.
understand that as being a way of tapping into the wisdom of ancestors. Is putting a
Bunch of
fey
bodies in a
tree
place.
on top of a burial mound to connect nature to the roots of the ancestors,
And
then
that's
to
all well and
So
good.
they
that's
want
what-
to
yeah.
destroy.
It's just
That's
the
normal.
vampires.
So they want to
that
destroy
is
the
what-
tree, and we
No,
want
no.
to save the
We
tree.
don't want to destroy the tree.
Okay, cool.
We want to kill the vampire underneath the tree. Do you
so
like
you
vampires?
understand
No
that they built
disrespect.
the tree
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
and that
not
they want
a full
to get the
vampire,
druids
so it's
back.
fine. Oh, cool.
You understand that the tree has been corrupted
My father's a-
because its roots tapped into. You've got Gulthias
I'm
as
sure
a
he's
good
very
guy, a druid. You've got Gulthias
He has
as a
his
corrupted guy who'd become a vampire. He was a druid.
So he was a good
essentially
guy.
you've got additional information to the information you've
Yes. The
You've
druid
got to-
buried under
so
there.
So we've got part
He's a
one, they've
vampire.
got part two.
got. You've got the
The
blurb
abridged
on the back.
version.
Yeah.
You have the
Like,
Fox News article.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Fox News.
Yeah, you've got the yes.
So that makes sense.
So-
That
so
makes
it's
sense.
nothing wrong
Are you,
with
going
it.
to, are you going to follow the wisdom
But,
of the druid that happened to be a vampire?
Alex Jones?
The druids have their powers back. I mean,
The reason the druids don't have their powers is because of
of the
Strahd.
Morning Lord.
Strahd.
The Morning Lord.
Strahd.
The Morning Lord.
Strahd and the Morning Lord are not the same person.
You sure about that?
Well, they could be.
Well,
Yeah, they could. Have you
unless-
ever seen them in the same
unless-
room
unless-
together?
Unless our religious friend here is
Queenie's
worshipping a
regretting that
vampire
second
or
level
highly
spell
doubt.
slot she just burned.
Even though I didn't Barovia.
Oh, also we've lost Pass Without Trace.
And as
made
the,
That would be an awesome
as the
twist.
lightning
It's like, it was like total
Nah.
vampire the whole
As the
time.
lightning flashes.
God, I wasn't even aware of it.
You
Yeah,
are
these
Strahd.
the huge creature
Alright, let's start
stood
rolling.
at the top.
Away or up?
If you had
in
to,
this
if you had to
circle
guess
of
in a number of
stones.
feet,
How far
tall
away
is
is
Can we
this
find
hill?
this person
how
we're
far away
looking
is
for
it?
without going near that
At
thing?
the base of the hill, that's where you were told to go, appears to be a small temple, and a cloaked figure is at the door of that temple.
Let's,
Hi, Klein.
let's get over there.
Klein, I presume.
Tomato sausages are nice crispy bacon.
He's crispy big.
This reminds me of weather.
Yeah, a little bit.
I remember fire was very effective.
It was.
So as you
I've been watching
reach the bottom of
videos
this,
on the wall.
as you reach the bottom of this hill, you see this cloaked figure,
They picked the worst
Um,
one, don't they? So
a
many
druid,
people on. I should have gone back to normal.
an elderly man standing who appears to be chanting under his breath at the bottom of this hill.
I'm going to speak in Druidic and hope that I have enough of a regional accent that it's clear I'm not one of the above people, and say I'm Kalain, I presume. Queenie doesn't know that one. Are you Kalain?
He looks up at you and nods and says, "Join with me in the chant.
What are we chanting for?
Deeds, not words, we call upon a great warrior. Deeds, not words, we call upon a great warrior.
Who's the warrior?
Deeds, not words, we call upon a great warrior." And then he waits and just looks at the wall.
Can I insight check or something?
I feel like he's
Blindly
talking about
joining into a chant.
I'm gonna
26.
talk to Quinny.
You don't get bad vibes off this guy. You think he's pretty genuine.
Be like, do you think the Great Warrior's thinking of?
I'm concerned we're about to unwittingly do something like that, yeah.
Who is this great warrior you're calling upon?
He just looks at you and goes,
Deeds,
Will you-
words.
will you chant with me?
Not without any context, no.
He just looks and goes,
As we,
were
un-
you not sent by the sea?
as we understand, enough druids have been manipulated against the greater good. Perhaps some light could be useful in this situation.
I'm calling, this is the temple to Kavan, and I am calling upon the spirit Kavan to bless those who would take down the great evil that lurks above. You will need all the help you can get.
That's good enough for me.
That sounds reasonable, yes.
I can't speak.
He speaks in your head. That will be fine. In my head. It's perfectly.
I feel dodgy about the match.
Fair enough.
Deeds, not words, we call upon the great.
Okay, I'll do it. Where's that?
Okay.
We're all chanting.
Performance check.
Hell yeah. Never
Oh.
get to use my
This is
Natural 20 for a 25.
I got 5.
18.
I'm cashing in all my luck tonight, apparently.
Make that a natural 20 for a 28.
That's a
Yes, but
10
you're a
for-
bard.
What? Hang on, what's my...
You turn into like a full concert.
12.
Deeds! Words! We call upon a great warrior! Yes!
And I'm just tapping my like star.
No, like literally Vash has gone into a full rendition of Master of Puppets.
As you're chanting, Helene steps backwards into this temple and beckons you to follow.
Oh god.
I wonder
Faye,
what.
forgive us all, and Quinny will go inside.
Okay. Your performance check off.
Morning,
25.
Lord, protect us.
Okay.
Natural 2025.
Okay. Who else?
Me.
I got
I would go in
28.
18.
Okay.
Yes, proficiency in performance. Yeah, and being a bard.
What did you take your expertise?
Arcana and perception.
Nice.
Because we don't have anybody good with Arcana.
That is very true,
Yeah.
And being a vampire, I should have very good perceptions.
As you
I suppose.
chant.
I've got this 9 perception.
Plus 9.
What's
How
that?
do you get plus 9?
Yeah.
Well, I've got expertise.
Ah, of course.
As you chant, this huge spirit form of this great warrior, scarred face, tattooed forehead, huge beard, appears in the middle of this temple and looks towards Harleen and holds out her hand, and in your hands materializes a spear.
Oh, this is cool.
And he says, who is worthy in life to face death? Towards thee I stand, thou all-destroying but unconquering. My spirit is with you as you face an enemy. Fight to die death and fall into one common darkness, and since neither can be mine, let me bestow upon you my conquering hate to strike down your foe. Now they will be damned. I give up my spear. Plunge it into the heart of thy enemy. To the last I grapple with thee. From hell's heart I stab at thee. For hate's sake I spit my last breath at thee.
Can we all see this?
Yep. And he disappears and leaves this spear, which is very real, manifest in your
Is
hands.
it just a regular spear?
Nope.
It's actually a
will-
-5 spear.
No, I will
What is
add
that?
it.
You never
But
know.
you don't know until you attack them.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
being added
until-
to your inventory.
Okay, cool.
So it is a blood spear.
That sounds fun.
The Spear of Destiny.
It is. It is a.
Is it
blood
the
Spirit
spear I
Morning
can
Lord.
use to kill the Morning Lord?
The Spear of Destiny is what killed
From
Jesus
your
Christ.
perspective,
So that's what kills the Morning
That
Lord.
is such an awful
when
name
you
for a
use it,
religious
it has a
entity.
plus 2 on attack.
Ooh.
It does 1d8.
Oh, can we look at what this does on D&D Beyond?
Maybe. Possibly not.
It's not spoilers or anything?
No.
Okay, cool.
Is Blood Spear in there?
Blood Spear's in there,
Excellent. In that case, feel free.
yeah. I didn't want to...
No, that's fine.
Look at it
No,
if it
no, no,
was
that's fine.
Not actually that good. Nice.
Important things for you is if you reduce a target to 0 hit points with the spear, you gain a temporary 2d6 hit points.
Cool.
That's
not bad.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
So if you hit the final blow with the spear, you
Yeah.
get 2d6 hit points back. If you use it, you get a +2 to attack with it. Anybody else can use it, but you don't get the +2 bonus because it was not gifted to you. So you get a +2 bonus when you get to attack and damage. So Kulain goes, do you know of Kaban?
No.
He has blessed you.
Never heard of him
Kaban
before.
was a chieftain. His tribe lived to the north in the Balanok Mountains centuries before Strahd came to these lands. And although he was very much alive, had some traits in common with the vampires. He slept in the day, hunted at night. He drank the blood of his prey. He lived underground. In battle, he wielded a spear stained with blood. The weapon drains the life from those it kills and transfers it to its wielder. It imbues you with the stamina to keep fighting when all is lost.
This will be mighty useful.
Does that sound theoretical to you?
Elaine says to you, I know from many years of communing with Kavan that the blood spear is necessary to prevent the terrible powers that reside within the Gulthias tree from returning. You are truly blessed if you can prevent that terrible recurrence. It doesn't make an enormous amount of sense to you because you don't think the Gulthias tree is evil in the first place.
Details. It's all the details.
All in the details. We have
Let's go kill a tree.
We're not killing the tree. The tree is fairly
We
safe.
can't kill the tree.
We're killing the vampire.
Burn the tree, it'll
No.
grow into a better
you
tree.
No.
plunge the spear
No.
into the heart of Gulthias.
Killing the vampire.
The person that's buried under the tree?
Is the tree is
So we have to
Gulthias.
kill the tree.
Don't worry, I speak Druidic. Yes.
have to kill the
person
tree.
buried on. No.
So we have to kill the tree.
No.
He is
That's
trapped.
what they just
He
said.
is
No,
They are the
Don't
tree.
worry, I speak
trapped
Druid. I
within
speak
the tree.
mysteries. Don't worry. Yes, we're killing the person
tree.
under the tree.
Okay. So we're killing the tree and the
Probably
person
kill
on
the
the
tree.
road.
We're not killing the fey tree. That's
We have-
it's fairly important, I think. I imagine. Yeah.
We have
Who knows?
That vague shrug
We
fills
won't
me
know
with
until we
confidence. It's
try and
vaguely
kill
important.
it.
We're not trying to kill the tree.
we have little time. I understand the druids have returned with the gem. They plan to animate the Wicker Man. At that point, Gulthias will leave the tree and
Alright.
become animated.
So
Let's-
he's in the tree.
He is buried under the tree.
Druids. don't
Oh,
make
he's
a
the
lot of
bad guy
sense.
from that first. What's that environment movie with the fairies? And like they, and like
Fern Gully?
Fern Gully. This Gulthias guy
Yes.
is legit the bad guy from Fern Gully.
It's not Stephen.
Because he was in a tree and then he gets.
He plays Pennywise as well, the actor. Oh, Tim Curry.
Tim
He's
Curry.
Tim Curry.
Yeah, Tim Curry.
All right, let's stop talking about it and get
Let's
to
go
it.
do it.
Let's kill
We're not killing the tree. Quinny,
Killing the
Quinny
creature
fully has a
controlling the
conniption and passes.
Well,
You
The
tree
tree will
people
survive
are
if
so
it- yeah.
confusing.
Hey, hey,
Harleen,
I'm not a
Harleen.
tree person. I'm an animal
Harleen,
person.
this is really simple. There will be a vampire. We have to kill the vampire. Okay?
Right.
But the
Killing
vampire's
va-
in the
Could you
tree.
direct
Killing
us
vampires, we
to,
understand, yes?
Yeah.
Golthias's
When we find the
hopefully
vampire, you kill the
still resting
vampire.
place?
That's all you need to. That's all you need to know.
Stab it in the middle of the tree.
let's go up the hill. Let's go.
I am.
Kill the
You're about to
vampire.
say, I am
Kill
Golthias.
the vampire.
I am. The way is difficult. I cannot imagine that Golthias will let us go
They do
unmarked.
Yes,
but I will guide
mortal
you.
peril and such.
I will guide you to
I don't
the.
think I'm paid enough for this.
I will guide you to the top of
I
the
once
tree.
again ask, who's paying you?
Some lady.
I will guide you to the top of the tree, to the top, to the Golthias.
Let's go.
Did she give you her name?
Yeah, but I forgot it.
Okay. That's less than helpful, but
No,
alright.
that's
He
that's
is-
player forgot.
He is very. So this is clearly a devout sort of, has dedicated his life to the sort of preservation of this temple against all odds. He does not look like the handiest person in a fight. Although you may be wrong, but he does not look like the handiest person in a fight. But he is willing to lead you to the top of the tree. What's the marching order? So there's a path going up the side. There's cliffs that are steep. These boulders that you could see that ring this burial mound, almost like supports a pretty sheer rock built in. There's a path that winds its way up to the top of the hill. Without it, you could walk up the vertical
Right.
ascent if you wanted to, but everybody else would find that.
Yeah, I'll walk with everyone else to stay with us.
I think magic's pretty likely here, so Quinny will offer to go up front. Magic resistance.
Okay.
Means I'm less likely to die.
Are we?
And-
Am I within 150 range of the
I would
tree?
be like closer
Oh,
to the back of the
tree.
group.
No.
I would be closer to the back of the group.
Vash will stand with Harleen because he likes the smell of the spear.
It's a bit morbid. Marching order?
Okay, so who else is going up front?
Me.
We're going in a big long
So it'll
line,
probably
okay.
go Quinny, Malachi, Zephyr.
Healer behind me,
and the
please.
two of us at the back.
Quiddy and I have to discuss how we're going to kill the warning.
We're not killing the fucking tree!
I didn't say the tree. I said the warning
like
order.
200
Okay,
Mine
so
cuts
I've
off
got
the
Harleen.
wall.
If the tree just happens to be in the
Hit
way.
that for a
And
minute.
everybody
I just wanna do that.
discussing
I
how
can
in fact
jump.
everybody else is wrong at the back.
Yeah.
78 feet.
Just because the
I'm a
majority's
druid,
true.
not a cleric, alright? If gods die, they die.
Stuff.
Okay.
78 feet.
We can leave Dionysus alive, I'd be happy.
Oh, Dionysus is fine. Dionysus isn't the reason the druids don't
I
have their
don't care
power.
who we have to kill as long as we get to kill Strahd at the end of it.
78 feet.
I feel like that's going
As
to
long
come
as they
back to
get my
haunt us later,
coin.
but we'll examine that character flaw at a later date.
As long as they get paid, it's fine.
Okay, so as you start to walk
Through Strahd.
up the hill,
What's it killing?
very,
in your mind
it's very
for free?
steep.
Only killing evil.
It's raining. There's thunder and lightning. There you go. There's some thunder and lightning.
Make sure there's a bigger evil than me around.
And as you walk up, you start to hear this terrible sort of groaning and moaning and a sort of this shambling, shuffling noise coming from all around you. So in between these sort of cliffs, there's almost like cliff and then
Are we
ledge and
underground
then
cliffs
cliff
or just
and then ledge.
on
So it's
over?
all the way around. So it's like
Awesome.
like a wedding cake.
Awesome.
So you're at the bottom with the temple. As you go up, there's this path that winds up, and there's rocks, and then you kind of reach a ledge, like before you get to the next tier of rock, and the winding path, and then a ledge, and then another tier, and you get to the top of
Yep.
this thing. Okay. So you can see on here, these are 100-foot high ledges, and as you come up onto this, sort of almost plateau before the cliffs, you notice that these sort of druidic feature
Desecrations.
humanoid entities start moving towards you.
I also had a question.
Yeah.
If I cast Enlarge and then Wild Shape,
I haven't quite decided.
it's
Technically,
it's only
they don't stack because
terrible.
because
And then
enlarge
it's
only acts on human
I
creatures.
rolled broke.
So they,
okay.
it technically doesn't stack into wild shape.
You cast
Although-
enlarge
do I-
on someone else and
Do I become a beast when I wild
am
shape, though?
tempted.
Do I become? Because I don't think I do become Beast when I Wild Shape. I think you
It's,
stay.
it's better for
Yeah,
melee fighters.
It just gives you a D4
It
and
gives you a
attacks. Is
D4
literally
and grapple and
is the
attacks.
only thing because
So,
all my large
I'm going to
creatures get
say
that.
yes.
Amazing.
Because nice like that.
You are incredibly nice. Thank you
I
very
know.
much.
Okay. Right. For initiative, Quinny.
I never roll this well. I got another natural 20 for 23.
Hey, you're doing well.
It's about time. I mean, it took
You
2 and a bit years.
You rolled like stupid stuff tonight.
It's
okay.
all my luck will be tonight,
Vash.
and then the next 2 years.
17.
Malachi.
20.
Zephyr. 9.
I'm thinking of getting because I've got like, doing two.
Harley.
It's on fucking rifle.
Um,
Roll for initiative.
14.
And Etherdwing.
18.
Okay, Quinny, you're up first, Malachi, you're on deck.
Alright,
Yeah.
can I, what do these things look like? Other than vaguely humanoid?
It's dark and you're not quite clear, but they look humanoid. They and they are shambling. They don't look particularly obviously alive. At a crude guess in the dark, you would say I'm ill of some kind.
I think I'll just try thorn whipping that one to the southwest. Just
Okay.
to start with, see if that does anything.
Yep.
14?
To the southwest. 14 minutes.
Wonderful. That is... hell yeah. 8, what is it? Piercing damage. As Quinny calls up a viney thorn and just... whoosh,
Oh, good
through
old
the air.
fine.
What are we playing?
The little undead things.
I have a feeling they're the bones of druids of past, but that grisly thought can wait for a minute. Does that seem to do much? Like, do these things look tough or squishy or...
It is still shambling towards you. It doesn't look particularly injured. Are you staying there, moving, doing anything else?
I might do a... do I want to do bonus action? Once. I think I'll hold off on anything fancy for now. It's a cantrip, so I can't do a light attack as a bonus action, can I? No.
No.
Alright, nope, that's it for me, I think.
Okay. You staying where you are, no movement.
Actually, I'll move away. I'll move 30 foot south, just so we're not all clumped together. I might flag with Malachi to probably watch our tour guide. You don't usually move around a lot in combat, do you?
No.
Maybe just guard the priest so that guard the other druids so that they don't get brutally killed.
Okay. Malachi, you're up.
I'm gonna do turn on dead.
Okay.
So,
This is going to be within 60 feet.
where would
Oh,
it
I'm
be?
so sorry. Can that person I targeted also? Oh no, it does just hit. Right. I'll pull them 10 foot closer to where I am.
Okay.
So sorry. So I'll
To
move.
where you were?
I'll move first and then attack. If that's okay to say retroactively.
Yes.
Wonderful. I'll move first and then attack and pull them in with the thorn.
Okay.
Oh, that's right, because the thorn drags them 10 feet towards you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was wondering why it did less damage than the juice one.
Okay, so I present my holy symbol and speak a prayer, censoring the undead. Each undead that can see or hear me within 30 feet must make a wisdom save
I
throw.
don't know if there's going to be many in 30 feet yet.
Yeah.
I'll save that
Well, you
for
can
next
move
round.
to a position where you can get.
So
Yeah.
They're all
you
spread
can
out.
either, from where you are, move over here,
Yeah.
and you can probably get these two just if you move to there, but that will take almost all your movement. So this is a long plateau.
So those guys are about 60 feet away.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Try these.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So you need to move.
Can someone
Yeah.
try them and see if they're actually spicy? Because if they're spicy, I won't be able to.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because if they're too spicy, I won't be able to eat them.
It's not just crispy, is it? Oh, with hot sauce.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to turn undead?
Yeah.
So you guys can have them.
So
if
it's a
they're
DC
spicy, if they're
16.
not- Like, if it's, like, I think sweet chili chips I'm fine with, but anything above that.
I'm not fucking spicy, I'll tell you that.
Is it spicy?
I'm not getting any.
What's the threshold on your destroy undead?
It is.
A slight tingle, that's it.
I wouldn't give them to a toddler.
I'm used
It's
to
got
spicy
CR
food, that's
half or
mine,
lower, I
So
think.
those
I
two
think that's what it is.
explode.
Those two explode.
Oh,
Okay.
awesome. This is
Boom!
Fiddly
Destroy undead.
And that's not even an action.
I'm sure it is.
Should
The
be.
It's
channel
channel
division
divinity.
says no action.
Channel,
And the one down
do
there
it.
just doesn't say
So
as an
I only
action.
get one.
It's an action.
It's an
As
action.
an action.
Channel
Okay.
divinity. It's a channel divinity use, and it's an
Okay,
action.
so it is an action. Yep, cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was a bit.
That's it. That's my.
The only channel divinity I know that isn't an action is it's part of an attack, and that's
Yeah.
the death domain cleric.
Which is
All
still
of
an
mine.
action.
Morning, Lord!
Yeah. So you go in and go, Morning Lord, and they go, fuck you, and they disintegrate.
some
They
of
just
I
vaporize.
can have them, like,
Yeah?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I can definitely taste the hot sauce.
Amazing what a good night's rest will do.
I just wanted to taste one, see what it was. I wasn't the best gauge for spicy food because I love it.
Oh, I like it. It just doesn't do.
Don't use the light chips, but these are alright.
These guys are going to
I forgot about my turn.
move up here
I turn undead is amazing.
So we had that graveyard fight.
and move down there. That's their turn. Because
Yeah.
they're too far away to attack. Ethically, you're up. And then Bosh.
So then no one's in strike distance yet, right?
No. You can't move.
So how far is that? That one's probably a bit close. Are they reachable though, or do you have to climb or scale heights to get there?
So these are huge, great cliffs. This is all flat plateau.
Oh,
So no, you can just move across this. This is a sort of flat plateau. If you think of a sort of tiered wedding cake, we're on the base at the bottom of the second level of the plateau.
Crips are off.
so yeah, I mean, so they're slightly uphill though.
Yeah, it's a sort of flat plateau before you go up to the next. There's these very steep ascents with these boulders with the path winding through them, and then you get these plateaus.
Would that
Which
give
are
us,
sort of covered in burial mounds.
would they give us, if we were to
Two
attack,
times
would
your
it give
area-
us
area
disadvantage
range
coming from the low
No.
ground?
That on a fireball.
No, it's essentially flat.
It's twice as big. And that's twice as long as
How far
well.
is this one
So it's
away from
300
me?
range.
They're hostile.
With 60 feet.
It's about 35 feet,
If I
maybe.
had used that
Maybe
one
a little bit
instead.
more.
Mind you, I wouldn't have gone
You could
back
get
'cause it's
within
a
melee
22,
range if you
but
wanted
yeah,
to.
but that's 2 times duration, 2 times area, 2 times range, 2 times effect. On fireball. Pretty insane.
That is a nice spell. That is very
I'm going to get within melee range and double dagger attack.
Okay.
It's like Hiroshima.
I'd like to give my cleric so thank you so much.
Not quite.
Happy. It's pretty briefly, yeah. It's basically anybody with proficiency in religion can use it. So clerics can use them with weapons, but anybody with proficiency in religion can have a crack.
No one else is remotely religious in the setting, which is great because there's so many gods that are going to fuck with them.
So dagger attack?
Double dagger attack.
Yep.
I'll give it a bit. That's a 17 and an 18.
Both hit.
Yeah, I haven't even added my ability modifier, so yeah. Significant.
We know that it's at most a 14.
Would they say, are they surprised?
No. They're marching towards you. They are the least surprised undead druids. They saw you coming and have been sent out to attack you. There is definitely no element of surprise.
Nor is there sneak
But I had
attack,
passed
I
without
assume.
trace on us
No
2
sneak
hours
attack.
ago.
There is nobody. They are not engaged with anybody else. They don't have advantage and they're not surprised. So
yeah.
no sneak attack. Sorry.
That's my
No,
swashbuckler
that's
comes
But
in.
nice try.
No, it's always worth asking the question. That's 15 damage.
Okay.
And then can I use my cunning action to disengage?
Back to where you were.
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay. Vash.
Okay, how far away is the one at the bottom?
This one from you, probably 60, maybe 70.
Ah, it's well and truly in range. Alright,
Yep.
I will, first of all, as my bonus action, hex the
Hex
little
it.
bastard,
Yeah.
because that's what I do.
Uh-huh.
And then, instead of, like, normally when Vash fires his Eldritch Blast, he holds up one hand. Now he's holding up both of them. I'm launching 2 Eldritch Blasts.
What are you going to do when you get 3 blasts?
It's like Twister.
One hand,
Vegeta,
and
blast,
2,
blast,
and
blast.
3!
No, it's more.
Oh, it should come out of your mouth.
Oh, yeah, the fire on the
Ah!
blast one out of my mouth. That works.
I can use a push and then fall over.
And then eventually you jump in the air to do all 4 blasts. And that's
Okay,
level.
so...
So I couldn't play anything like that. Tell me don't complicate things. Like Eldritch Blast.
You're a cleric.
That's, what, an 18 and a 14
They
to
have
hit?
the most complicated spells.
Beautiful.
Love them. Love them.
Look.
They're my favourite. You wait till you make the big turns at them.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Oh dear.
Clericy NPCs.
Okay. So the first one, I rolled max damage.
Okay.
So that's 23 on the first hit.
Yep.
23 damage.
Yep.
How do you do 23 damage?
10 for Eldritch Blast, 5 for the Charisma modifier, and I rolled 8 for the Hex.
Jesus Christ, what's hex? And 8, they're D8.
Oh no, sorry, that's a D6. I'm gonna have to roll that again. My bad. Okay, so no, that's 5 off. That's 18 damage.
That sounds slightly more reasonable for a D10 spell attack.
The hex is necrotic, right?
Yeah, Hex is necrotic. And the other one was 20
Damage.
damage.
So that one just sort of explodes into pieces.
That's why you
So,
pick Hex as a warlock, you can stack damage.
it explodes into pieces across its bones
why I took
and
agonizing
remaining
blast,
bits
it
of flesh scatter across the burial mound as one guy left off.
Well, I was a little less messy.
This was a much easier fight than I
Holly,
thought it was
you're
going to be. I'm very glad I didn't bend one of the right shots.
Yeah.
Where are the
They're not
enemies?
tough to kill yet. This is just...
Yeah, you're on the first level. On the platform level, it's him.
Where's the closest enemy?
There's one up, and that's this guy.
Okay.
So
I
we're
guess
all
I'll just take the charge of him.
It's just going to
Yep.
cliff.
With
Half
the
goat.
spear.
I reckon Queenie could make it up.
No,
Queenie
give
could make it up.
Give the spear a try.
Yep.
Maybe.
19 to hit.
Hits.
Oh. I didn't want to roll it there, but sure, we'll roll it there. 9 damage.
And your spear pierces it a bit, and you get this huge surge of energy coming back towards you. So you can roll the zombie dies on the end of your spear, and you can roll your temporary HP. They don't stack because it's temporary HP. So once you've killed it, once you've used your temporary HP,
Yep.
you can
Stack it
accrue
back on top.
more temporary HP. But you can't stack unless.
So as soon as it runs out, it refreshes.
Yeah. So long as she's the one who. See, Edward will do it.
You're already
I
murdery.
like his blood with blood.
You're already murdery enough.
Fiend Pack Warlock gets that as a natural
There you
feature.
go. So
You
you've
can
got some
get
temporary
points.
HP.
Cool.
Yep.
And there's no other enemies.
There appear to be no other enemies.
Filling us with confidence. Maybe a resurrection club for Idril? Find someone over the head and they don't die? A
Bonk,
club,
you back up
club
now.
of spare the dying. You know, a corpse and it doesn't die.
That would be terrible. People would not be happy with that at all.
That's,
Just so you know.
that's going on the list.
Ritual would be like, that would be like a cursed weapon, just so that you are very clear.
I think there is.
What if it
actually,
also does
no?
plus 5
There
damage?
is actually a weapon in D&D Beyond that does 1d4 damage, but it does 1d8 plus your Wisdom modifier healing.
Yeah, love it. As long as you've got decent wisdom, that's a guarantee.
I think I'm going to leave you halfway up this hill. So,
The arrow of antibiotics.
so you've reached the first level of the burial mound
Yep.
and dealt with the undead that have been sent down to interrupt your path, and you're facing the ridiculously
Oh, I'm not
steep climb to the next level of the hill, and you can see in the distance the very top. From this angle, you can only see the very uppermost branches, like skeletal fingers reaching out, that are occasionally exposed in the light you might the hill as you reach the next 100-foot level
I knew I
up
dislike these druids for a reason.
on the top of this druid burial mound that you're currently climbing. And I'm going to leave it there because otherwise it's good. Because otherwise we'll end up running into
Okay, so early finish.
the big
Actually,
9:30. We'll end up running into the big tree and then overrunning. So I'm going to leave it.
while we're all here, let's do something really exciting.
Okay.
Everyone here loves maths because we love D&D. Let's talk about spatial maths, which is time scheduling.